wild leopards in their natural habitat. Don't get too close.
Alright, mate.
It's the Afro duck.
Look at him. Look at his no hair.
He's the only one with hair.
I assume I'm the leader.
Yeah. I have the most exquisite buffon. Yeah.
That's a small horse.
Ha! Didn't see you there, Sean.
It's been there the whole time, man. We're here on Hackney City Farm. These are the goats that inspired the recording of the album, The Goat.
Obviously, because we're called Puppy, we figured we had to get a dog in to produce and engineer the album. We asked some of our 7 fans to submit some questions, any kind of questions at all, no matter how crazy or kooky. What we've done is we've written them out and we've put them in this box. It's actually a bag, and
This soft box.
this soft box, and we're gonna grab some questions out of there just at random, completely at random.
I'm gonna take one. Look at this guy.
Oh my days.
He's put on a little show. He knows he's on camera.
That's one of the biggest goats I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Don't
Like
know
that?
haters. Yeah.
Like that, humans? That's for free. Imagine what you get if you pay for it.
Okay, guys. This question is from a mystery person. What is your favourite thing about the new record?
Probably the bass playing. It is the most exquisite I've ever heard.
I'm inclined to agree.
I would love to know who did it.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't me.
It was like Sting and Les Claypool had a baby and then recorded bass for
I
Puppy's
agree.
album. The
You know
Goat.
how Jay-Z, you get the a cappella versions of the albums?
Yeah.
I think we should do the bass,
Bassapella.
Bassapella.
That's the official term, yeah.
and that'll be the deluxe edition.
Look out,
that's gonna come
2019, Bassapella version of The Goat coming
Funny,
to you
yeah. Do you know who
soon.
played bass on that though?
The Goat?
Yeah.
No idea. I think it was one of these guys. It was that donkey there.
Yeah. Good on you. Shine on, you crazy diamond.
Shine on, you crazy donkey.
What song would you be happy to never hear again? Most of ours.
Yeah. Everything off The Goat. Apache Indian, we've listened to so many times in our van. I would happily
I could
never
hear
listen to it again.
nothing but that song.
Yeah, I could hear that again.
Again and again.
You're going to, Jock. So
Okay, let's do another one.
Another one.
Let's do another one. Why can't I speak?
Let's do one from the nether realm.
Thank you for being my favourite band. Oh,
that's cute.
Is this your
Will, you
mum?
put this one in there. Who are your favourite bands?
I'm gonna go Frank Zappa because there's a lot there. He started recording in the late 60s and he was very prolific. And I think buried in those like 150 albums he did, are maybe 4 or 5 of my favourite albums, and it's all quite versatile.
Okay.
It's a thinking man's response there, but my favourite season is autumn. So
Yeah.
who do you think is yours, Jock? Can I give you a hint?
Whoa.
And Will, what's your favourite band ever?
Not based on output, but just on being a band. Favourite band is Morris Day and the Time. Never say an unkind word about the Time. Just for the way they dressed, the way they
They got the
moved
mad
on
notes.
stage. Yeah, they got the mad notes. They got the tunes. Morris Day's best front man ever. Like if you watch Purple Rain, the film, they're like the bad guys in that film, but it's because they're cooler than the Revolution. They didn't actually write any of their own songs. Prince wrote them all. So
is that encompassing Prince as well a little bit?
yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's a clever
I
answer there.
count it under Prince's output, but they're as a band, they're just amazing. They got like Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, like just some of the best. Literally, like Prince just rounded up the best musicians he could find and put them all in one.
That's how we were assembled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was with the worst musicians.
Yeah, John's
That's about the 3 biggest
Who are the
dickheads.
2 biggest douchebags I've ever.
I'm going to be very boring. I'm going to say Dinosaur Jr. my favourite band of all time.
Really?
I'm a huge fan of that band. Everything the original trio have done, and since they kind of really got back together again. Although they're still putting out great albums now. Yeah, top band.
If you had to impersonate one famous person for the rest of your life,
No!
who would you choose and why?
That's good.
You can answer that in
We
the
were
voice
just
of that person.
talking about.
Why don't you do it and see if people can guess it?
Okay, we were just talking about a movie that we all watched. No one's gonna guess what it is.
People will guess what it is.
Listen here, you meat-headed shitstack. I couldn't give a tuppenny fuck about your moral conundrum. Whoopsie daisy!
So basically, that's Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York. But what he's doing is a bad impression of Robert De Niro, which is what I can do. So naturally, I can do that.
I can do an impression of the Brain's impression of Orson Welles, which is not actually like Orson Welles, but in my mind is like Orson Welles. So everything is very like that. I am the Brain. What's the advert? What's the advert he does?
It's,
Yes, yes, always.
And
Yes,
like
always.
all Californian champagnes, it is a fine vintage dated on the bottle.
It's impressions of impressions.
Yeah, oh, that's an interesting theme.
We've gone there. It's quite meta.
Will, go on, hit me up.
That was it.
That was the impression.
We'll leave that to the audience's imaginations to
Yeah,
who
yeah,
that
yeah.
was. Great question.
What advice would you give to young riffy rock bands trying to make their way in an indie band's world?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Become rappers.
Yeah.
Straight up.
SoundCloud,
get on
baby.
SoundCloud.
Face tattoos, get addicted to Xanax.
Yeah.
You'll get way more followers. Straight up.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a long
It's a long,
and
hard slog,
unfun
and we're
road.
here in a farm talking to some goats. Find people who you really get on with, and who you know, like people who make you feel kind of comfortable, but maybe also prod you to do shit that you wouldn't do otherwise.
Do what makes you unique. I wouldn't try and kind of follow anyone else. I mean, talking about this kind of indie bands world thing, you know, if you're a riffy rock band, do that, but be a good riffy rock band. Don't just try and sound like, you know, what's on the rock A-list or whatever. Although we are, so that's fine. Play hits, write hits, baby.
Yeah. Stop sucking.
Yeah, stop being crap.
Don't blame it on the indie bands.
Do something. Right, next question.